Let's get some perspective from Victor Martinez. He's the radio host for Politics en Español. Victor, thank you so much for joining us. I understand that many of your listeners, including Trump supporters, are in favor of immigration enforcement, but they're troubled with how it's being carried out. And I wonder, where exactly do they believe the line is crossed?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And yes, especially Trump supporters, Latino Trump supporters here in the state of Pennsylvania, where I'm in, you can hear these Trump supporters telling us, wait a minute, this is not what I voted for. I thought he was going to get the criminals, the rapists, the murderers, the drug traffickers, not the people who are going to court under appointment and now they're being picked up in court. And that is a big frustration. That is a big part of why so many people are upset.
So on what's happening in Los Angeles, there were more than 24 people arrested for taking over the 101 highway, for throwing Molotov cocktails, for ramming police lines. I wonder if you think the president was justified in sending in the National Guard, or if you see this the way that Governor Gavin Newsom does, that this is a manufactured crisis.
Absolutely. I mean, there was no need for the president to send the National Guard. We see protests in this country in a weekly and a monthly basis. Is happening major scales, and yet the National Guard's never used. The governor has the state police, local authorities will handle it. And if they do need the National Guard, well, that's always an option. But when was the last time that the president of the United States called the National Guard to handle something locally, protests? I'm in Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia, we had similar protests last year where people took over the highways and took over the streets. And at no moment did the governor call for the National Guard, nor the president called the National Guard. So absolutely, it was completely unnecessary. And I think that just throw more wood to the fire. And as you were mentioning on your previous segment, it just makes it more of a show, more of an opportunity for the president to just make it look bigger than what it is or worse than what it is for his own benefit.
Victor, if you could stand by for a moment, I just want to let our viewers know that as of a moment ago, the California Attorney General has announced that lawsuit against Trump's federalization of the National Guard, saying that Trump violated the 10th Amendment and federal law, saying that this was an unlawful action. This is obviously something that was announced would be coming by the governor of California. Now it is officially filed. I do want to ask you something, Victor, about one aspect of the protest that caught my eye and received attention from the administration, and that's protesters who are waving not only Mexican but Guatemalan and Honduran flags, among others. The administration suggested that they are insurrectionist invaders. I wonder how you respond to that, if you see that as un-American or as a statement about cultural pride.
Absolutely, it's a cultural of pride, a statement of pride. I mean, we just had the Puerto Rican parade in New York yesterday, right? And all you saw along Fifth Avenue in New York were Puerto Rican flags. It's our way to show support. It's our way to be proud of where we are from, yet we are here and we are proud to be part of this community as well. And I don't doubt that it was also an opportunity for people from El Salvador or from Mexico or from Guatemala to let their fellow immigrants know, hey, we are here with you. I am from Mexico like you. I'm from Guatemala like you, and I'm here supporting you.
So when you see those images that I'm sure you've noticed, Victor, of these folks, some of them assaulting police, throwing things at police, setting fires to vehicles, throwing Molotov cocktails, what's your message to those protesters?
Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're making the situation worse. You're not helping the cause. You are giving the opportunity for the president and others to say, hey, you see, look at that. It's necessary. Look, we have to call the National Guard. So if anybody out there is listening, and for whatever my message is worth, stop. It hurts the cause. We know that you're hurting. We know that you're upset. We understand. We're with you. But those type of behaviors, what they do is hurt our community, because then they get transmitted through CNN and unfortunately, it doesn't help our community. And the point of us protesting, the point of us arguing that we are being mistreated, that we're being abused, and I just want to make it clear, our community is scared. And some people in our community have had enough. You know, we've been told that these are criminals, rapists, drug dealers who are being deported or arrested. But we can see the videos every day on social media of people going to court, doing the right thing, following the law, and they're getting picked up in court, not in some backdoor alleyway. No, they're being picked up in court with their lawyers. I've seen video on social media in New York, in Manhattan, people who are in court with their lawyers, doing the right thing, following the process the way they're supposed to, and yet there is an immigration officer, an ICE officer, picking them up and taking them to jail. And I'll give you an example. KTLA in LA reported a 64-year-old Filipino woman who was arrested. She's been legally in this country for 50 years. And KTLA is reporting, and I will quote you right here, a 64-year-old legally U.S. Resident detained by ICE for 3 months. She's Filipino. So this is not just happening to Latinos, but that's just an example of things are happening that are taking our community over the edge.
Vitor Martinez, we have to leave the conversation there. Appreciate you sharing your perspective.